This is a new year. Great big world. I knew I was a certified member of your community when I had a dream about you. Your divination cards were talking to me. You have many decks you use in your general readings. Your ability to interpret symbols demonstrates a lifelong learner. Maybe it's your Egyptian heritage or your Norwegian upbringing that gifted your entrance into this esoteric world. It's probably both, and then some. In this liminal space, your cards were explaining to me they are like the House of Representatives, and you were the Speaker of the House, and all your YouTube followers were the constituents. You were passing information in both ways, the representatives connecting with their representatives. One card animated itself into a reptilian-like being, saying this card is the energy of our communal energy. Maybe I was also dreaming about you because I recently received a reading from you, a personal one. I had been watching your YouTube channel for a couple months, surprised by the clarity of your messages, more surprised how much they resonated with me. I work with other seers, psychics, oracles. There are many names used, like teachers, mentors, or guides. I consider them resources for triangulation. Triangulation is a method I picked up in the scientific community. I collect multiple data sets to address my exploration. I have my visions, cards, astrologies, synchronicities, etc., and I have others who use their esoteric gifts. It's a research strategy that can help enhance the validity of my findings. Varying my data collection across time, space, and different people allows for credibility in what I've been envisioning. It never occurred to me a general reading could become another data point. It's funny how it never occurred to me, because I do see there is a collective connection. It made sense, once I saw it, a general reading would fall into this category. My intention was clear when I reached out to you. Sort of. Clear in a deep and wordy way. I shared the backstory of why I was reaching out, giving you the option to skip the details if you'd rather dive in. I didn't want to take up your time with a long read if you didn't think it was necessary. It didn't surprise me when you responded, "I am very enchanted and lost for words with your email. It is so deep and unquestionably feels like it's coming from a wise soul." I felt lost for the reading question. Have I missed it? Or would you prefer an open reading of whatever message comes through and see where the reading takes us? You didn't miss a thing. It was an open invitation to dive into my world and see what was needed to be known now. I was asleep, suddenly woken from the sleep with a knowing. You sent the reading. I checked my email. Please find your reading attached. Sending you so much love. It was an absolute pleasure doing this reading for you, Kim. Smiley face. I laid in bed and watched you struggle. Just slightly, especially since you were concerned about violating YouTube rules where you upload the readings. I could hardly wait to show my daughter. Ava, on our way to Seattle, I really want to show you this reading I had. Mom, you know I can't read the cards. I know, baby, but I think you'll be able to understand this one. We were leaving the mall because she needed a dress for prom that night. Her friend was picking her up in an hour at her dad's house just in time for us to watch the reading. I started the reading as we drove to Seattle. You began with how you had opened my email and initially read it like any other correspondence. I organized things in a way that allows people to slowly immerse themselves into me. You felt enchanted. In this enchantment, you took your laptop to the couch, lay down, and allowed yourself to become lost in my words. Each paragraph pulling you deeper into my world, requiring more than just the eyes and the conscious mind, and so much more than the soul's eyes and the soul's mind. You continued by expressing you could imagine listening to me for hours, reflecting on what you could discover from my mind. You were moved to tears by the end of my email. Mom, wow, I like her. She really gets you. I know, baby, it's unbelievable. Wait until you see what she pulls in the cards. You wove the story of what my daughter already knows, what she has witnessed, by living in this world. She giggled when you said, I hope you don't think I'm putting pressure on you with this reading. I have to remind myself this isn't my reading, this is Kim's. You were feeling the pressure, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders as you read the weight of the world on mine. Yet you saw in the cards, this will be effortless for you. You have that mastermind. Ava smiled as we drove through the downtown traffic, listening to your words. She sounds like Karen's mom. Karen is one of her best buddies, and she was feeling you associated with her best buddy. You have that energy about you, someone who would be someone's best buddy. Let's clear these cards and see the second message. Maybe you were hoping for something lighter. The table cleared, cards pulled. The first one, Aries, my sun sign, which you didn't know. The competitor was the name of the card, the one who's going to blaze the trail. By the fifth card, you paused. It's the same message. We cleared the cards and the same message is coming through. We both had clear intentions, pure intentions, and the same message is coming through. And there is a countdown. I imagine if you're seeing this for the first time, it must be startling. It certainly has been one startle after another for me as I weave the pieces together. There is a rising, as you pointed to in one of the cards, a prophecy. A rising that is happening behind the scenes, in the margins, carried by the pest control guys, the furnace guys, the kids on the spectrum, the moms walking the trails, the older white male executive that could be the mascot for the patriarch, the nurse disgusted during the pandemic by those passing, blocked from holding the hands of their loved ones. I could go on and on about where I see the rising. There are many here, many from the Star Nation, the representatives from the house of the galaxy and beyond. Like your cards showed me in my dream, what sounds crazy now is an airplane in the future, or a world that is round rather than flat, or a vehicle that takes us from point A to B without horseshoes involved. The kid's dad used to do this really funny thing. The kids would protest going to bed. He'd laugh and say, "There's the easy way and hard way." They always chose the hard way. He'd chase them through the house, scoop them up in his arms, hurl them over his shoulder, haul them up the stairs, and toss them into their bed. I don't think the hard way you saw in the cards will be that fun. That's why there are so many enlightened beings waiting on the sidelines. Most don't even know who they are. Instead, they just feel alien, doing what they can to get their nut. There has been an uptick with diversity and inclusion. What has emerged are inclusive groups. Yet members can still feel alien within that inclusive group, which can be confusing and very lonely. To be from the Star Nation and not remember and try to fit in, you were really trying to give me some good news. I think we should see when this is going to happen. Maybe you were hoping for a never, but I already knew the when. It was happening now, because that was the intention of the reading. What needs to be known now? You pulled the High Priestess. We do not have access to this information. You are not meant to know. When the time comes, you will know. The time has come. Love is here. I hope we choose the easy way.